Jill Ker Conway, AC, is an Australian-American author, well known for her autobiographies, in particular her first memoir, The Road from Coorain. She was also Smith College's first female president, from 1975 to 1985, and now serves as a visiting professor at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. In 2004 she was designated a Women's History Month honoree by the National Women's History Project. Biography. Ker Conway was born in Hillston, New South Wales in the outback of Australia. Together with her two brothers, Ker Conway was raised in near-total isolation on a family-owned 73 square kilometres tract of land, Coorain, which was eventually expanded into 129 square kilometres. On Coorain she lived a lonely life, and grew up without playmates except for her brothers. She was schooled entirely by her mother and a country governess. Ker Conway spent her youth working the sheep station. By age 7, she was an important member of the workforce, helping with such activities as herding and tending the sheep, checking the perimeter fences and lugging heavy farm supplies around. The farm prospered until a drought that would last for 7 years. This and her father's worsening health put an increasing burden on her shoulders. But this ended abruptly when she was 11 and her father drowned in a diving accident while trying to extend the farm's water piping. Initially Jill Ker Conway's mother, a nurse by profession, refused to leave Coorain, but after 3 more years of drought she was compelled to move Jill and her brothers to Sydney, to allow them to lead a normal life. Ker Conway found the local state school a rough environment. The British manners and accent ingrained by her parents clashed with her peers' Australian habits, provoking taunts and jeers. This resulted in her mother enrolling her at Abbotsleigh, a private girls' school, where Ker Conway found intellectual challenge and social acceptance. After finishing her education at Abbotsleigh, she enrolled at the University of Sydney, where she studied history and English and graduated with honours in 1958. Upon graduation, Ker Conway sought a trainee post in the Department of External Affairs, but the all-male committee turned down her application. After this setback she travelled through Europe with her now emotionally volatile mother. In 1960 she decided to strike out on her own and moved to the United States. At age 25, she was accepted into the Harvard University History program, though she assisted a Canadian professor, John Conway, who became her husband until his death in 1995. Ker Conway received her Ph.D. at Harvard in 1969 and taught at the University of Toronto from 1964 to 1975. Her book True North deals about her time in Toronto. From 1975 to 1985, Ker Conway was the president of Smith College. Since 1985 she has been a visiting professor at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. She has received 38 honorary degrees and awards from North American and Australian colleges, universities and women's organizations. Throughout her career, Ker Conway had served as a director on a variety of corporate boards. These include stints of more than a decade on the boards of Nike, Colgate, Palmolive and Merrill Lynch. She is also a member of the board of Imaginations Group. Since 2011, Ker Conway has served as the board chair of Community Solutions, president of Smith College. In 1975, Ker Conway became the first female president of Smith College, the largest women's college in the United States. Located in Northampton, Massachusetts, Smith is a private liberal arts college and is the only women's college in the U.S. to grant its own degrees in engineering. One of Ker Conway's most notable accomplishments is a program she instigated to help students on welfare. At the time, many students who were also welfare mothers were not pursuing liberal arts, as accepting Smith's scholarship meant losing the welfare benefits. The students were forced to choose between supporting the children or furthering their education, by not giving them scholarships but paying the rent instead. Ker Conway circumvented the state's system. She also gave the students access to an account at local stores, access to physicians, and so on. ABC's Good Morning America even profiled graduates of the program, giving it national exposure. Eventually the state of Massachusetts, convinced about the importance of the program, changed its welfare system so that scholarship students wouldn't lose the benefits. Ker Conway also created the Ada Comstock Scholars Program. This program allows non-traditional aged women, often with extensive work and family obligations, to study full or part-time depending on the family and work schedules. These women can take classes for a bachelor's degree at Smith's at a slower pace over a longer period. In 1975, Jill Ker Conway was named by Time as a Woman of the Year. The Road from Coorain. Ker Conway started writing her first memoirs after leaving Smith College. During her period at MIT, The Road from Coorain was published in 1989 and deals with her early life, from Coorain in Australia to Harvard in the United States. The book starts off with her early childhood at the remote sheep station Coorain near Moswell, New South Wales. Ker Conway writes about her teenage years in Sydney and especially her education at the University of Sydney, where university studies were open to women but the culture was focused heavily on the men. She described her intellectual development and her feelings realizing there is a bias against women, after being denied a traineeship at the Australian Foreign Service. In 2001, Chapman Pictures produced a television film, The Road from Coorain, featuring Catherine Slattery as the grown-up Jill, and Juliet Stevenson as her mother. Awards and honors. 1989 L.L. Winship Penn New England Award. The Road from Coorain. Ker Conway was appointed Ant Companion in the General Division of the Order of Australia on 10 June 2013 for her eminent service to the community, particularly women, as an author, academic and through leadership roles with corporations, foundations, universities and philanthropic groups. On 12 June she was removed as a companion and invested as an honorary companion of the Order of Australia due to not having Australian citizenship. In 2013, she received a 2012 National Humanities Medal from President Barack Obama. Selected bibliography. Books. Conway, Jill. Modern Feminism and Intellectual History. New York, Alfred A. Knopf. Conway, Jill. Keeley, Linda. Schultz, Janet E. The Female Experience in 18th and 19th Century America. A Guide to the History of American Women. New York, Garland Pub. ISBN 9780691005997. Conway, Jill. Utopian Dream, a Dystopian Nightmare. 19th-century feminist ideas about equality. Worcester, Massachusetts, American Antiquarian Society. ISBN 9780912296890. Conway, Jill. Scott, Joan W. Burke, Susan C. Learning About Women, Gender, Politics and Power. Ann Arbor, Michigan. University of Michigan Press. ISBN 9780472063987. Conway, Jill. The Road from Coorain. New York, Alfred A. Knopf. Distributed by Random House. ISBN 9780749303600. Reprinted as Conway, Jill. The Road from Coorain, London, Minerva, ISBN 9780780,398,941. Conway, Jill. Written by herself, an anthology. New York, Vintage Books. ISBN 9780639,736,332. Conway, Jill. Burke, Susan C. The Politics of Women's Education, Perspectives from Asia, Africa, and Latin America. Ann Arbor, University of Michigan Press. ISBN 9780472,083,282. Conway, Jill. True North, a Memoir. New York, Vintage Books. ISBN 9780679,744,610. Conway, Jill. Written by herself, Autobiographies of American Women, an anthology. New York, Vintage Books. ISBN 9780679,736,332. Conway, Jill. Written by herself, Women's Memoirs from Britain, Africa, Asia, and the United States, Volume 2, an anthology. New York, Vintage Books. ISBN 9780679,751,090. Conway, Jill. When Memory Speaks, Reflections on Autobiography. New York, Alfred A. Knopf. ISBN 9780679,766,452. Conway, Jill. In her own words, Women's Memoirs from Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and the United States. New York, Vintage Books. ISBN 9780679,781,530. Conway, Jill. Kennan, Elizabeth. Munnings, Claire. Overnight Float. New York, Penguin Books. ISBN 9780142,113. Conway, Jill. Marks, Leo. Keniston, Kenneth. Earth, Air, Fire, Water, Humanistic Studies of the Environment. Amherst, University of Massachusetts Press. ISBN 9781558,492,219. Conway, Jill. A Woman's Education. New York, Alfred A. Knopf. ISBN 9780679,744,627. Conway, Jill. Millis, Locken. Felipe the Flamingo. Golden, Colorado. Fulcrum Publishing. ISBN 9781555,915,476. Chapters in books. Conway, Jill. Points of Departure in Zinsser, William. Inventing the Truth, The Art and Craft of Memoir. Boston. Houghton Mifflin, pp. 41-60. ISBN 9780395,901,502. Conway, Jill. A Foreword. In Freeman, Sue J. M. Burke, Susan C. Shelton, Christine M. Women on Power, Leadership Redefined. Boston, Northeastern University Press. ISBN 9781555,534,783. Journal articles. Kerr, Jill. Merchants and Merinos. Royal Australian Historical Society Journal. Royal Australian Historical Society. 46, 206–233. Conway, Jill. Women Reformers and American Culture, 1870–1930. Journal of Social History. Oxford Journals. 5, 164–177. DOI 10.1353, JSH 5.2.164. PDF